Previously on What is TWS?
I don't know. We went to Target and I let her pick out whatever she wanted to get him for his birthday. She got him Connect 4, so I couldn't be too upset about that. It's a social game, apparently, according to my daughter. Sheffy Lee says it's a social game, and people like to socialize unless you're an introvert. That's what she explained to me. So everybody likes Connect 4 because it's a social game, and only introverts don't like to socialize. I had to explain to her that her dad is an introvert, and I don't like to socialize.
This is a Pod Dealers Network podcast.
What is TWS podcast, episode, whatever, who cares at this point?
The rants of the vindicated. It's my podcast and I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live?
It's not working for me, Rich. All right, we gonna keep going. I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast?
Ready. I feel like the Neanderthal.
Staring at my watch and I'm feeling so new school. Suicide attempts, how many tries to take? They ain't ready.
Girls and record stores.
Put your number on this receipt. I'll scoop you in the Jeep and show you my collection in the morning. Yeah, knowing mine is red like you spending money ahead like 3 double takes before you disappear, right? That's a 6-eye kind of blue type of red sight. You caught that, you caught the details. You being record store clientele don't even seem real. Pardon me, love.
My name's Skylar, and honestly, love, I couldn't recall the last time I saw a part of a club, but I ghost right. Anyway, welcome to another episode of the What is TWS podcast. As always, I'm your boy J. Flan, representing the White Pants Society, and I must start by thanking you first and foremost for taking whatever time out of your day to come chill with me. You could be any place else in the world, but you're here with me, and I do greatly appreciate that. I also appreciate the fact that I made it through that without fucking it up after I haven't done this for, I don't know, we're going on like 8 months now. So, welcome back. If you made it back, I really do appreciate you. I apologize for the random disappearance. Just to get into that real quick, because we got a lot to cover today. To explain it, basically when I started this thing, I am an introvert. I picked that from the last episode that I put out, because I think it speaks to us, what happened and what's been going on. I'm very much an introvert, and strangely enough, one of my least favorite things to do in the world is talk. I'm not a talkative person. I don't like to talk. I don't do small talk at all. I can be a very difficult person to sometimes be around or be in a relationship with because, conversation is not my favorite thing. And weirdly enough, I have a podcast. But I think I started the podcast because I'm such an introvert and I live a very isolated sort of, lifestyle. A lot of times my circle is very small. I go to work, I come home, I take care of my daughter. If you catch me out in a social environment, I am a social person. I'm going to be nice and I'm going to engage with you. But that's energy for me. That's work. It takes a lot. And so I think when I started the podcast, it was because my life was very, I was very much alone a lot and I didn't talk. I could go long stretches without talking. And this kind of became my way of talking to people without having to talk to people. I think I talked about this on an episode in the past, but it's like I'm sitting in this room by myself and I'm talking. But it's not quite the same as talking to myself because I know somebody's going to hear this. And so I think that it was kind of my thing. And then, a couple years in, I started to meet people. I started to network. There are folks that like the show. People want to do other shows. People want to collaborate. Next thing I know, I look up and like almost every day of my week is dedicated to something. I'm having a conversation. I'm talking. I'm on camera, which is another one of my least favorite things to ever do. I don't like to be seen. I'm a very, shy, to myself kind of person. And so this whole experience has been stepping outside of my comfort zone. And I think I may have just stepped way too far outside, way too fast. And I just reached a point where I went from, I created a podcast to have a place to talk. And then all of a sudden I had too many places to talk and too much to talk about and then realized I didn't have anything else to say. I didn't have anything else that I wanted to talk about. I couldn't think of topics to bring to you guys or discussions or conversations to have. And And so I guess I just drifted. I've still been out there, the one man and one woman, the podcast is, it's doing well. I'm glad. I'm very appreciative of that show. Shout out to Opinionated Sense. It's her idea. And, I've been doing that and pushing that. That's every Friday. If you haven't checked it out yet, on all major platforms, major, minor, whatever. You can find us. We out there. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make my way back. All right. Right now, I'm in a place where I'm trying to get myself back to being me. I'm trying to do the things that I enjoy and find happiness and peace in the things that I had found that space, and then I kind of let it go, and I gotta go grab it again. And so that's basically what happened. So I apologize. My fault. I should have maybe, not maybe, but I definitely should have said something or spoke something more than just disappear. A lot of times in my mind, it's only like there's nobody listening to this, or who cares, so I can just disappear. But it's not the way to be. Anyway, thank you for listening to that. I felt like I owed you something. Man, yesterday was my birthday. And so I thought this would be a good time to come back. Yesterday was my birthday, and I appreciate everybody who reached out to give me, some birthday love. It means a lot. It always means a lot. You don't think anybody even pays attention or knows who you are or knows that it's your birthday, and then, you get this outpouring of love on the day, and it means a lot. One of the dopest things that happened to me yesterday, probably one of the dopest things that's ever happened to me outside of my daughter or, them type of moments. The missus took it upon herself to reach out to one of my favorite hip-hop artists and explain to him a little bit about who I was and ask them to reach out to me on my birthday. And so yesterday, I got, I think it was on Twitter. I want to say it was on Twitter. It was either Twitter or Instagram. One of the two. I want to say Twitter. I'm looking at my phone, and all of a sudden I get a message saying that, an account wants to send me a message. And I look at the account, and it's Skyzoo. And, if you listen to this show, if you listen to the clip that just played, you'll know Skyzoo is one of my favorite artists. I was late to the game in discovering him, but, just, man, absolute, one of the dopest artists that got to be a top 10 MC to me. And then just, the way he responded, the message I received from him yesterday, and what he said, and just the fact that he took the time to do that. I think he's overseas right now. He's in Europe. He's doing shows in Germany and stuff coming up in the next couple of days and weeks. And to take the time out to shoot me a message and personalize it and make sure he read, what my girl had sent him. And just that meant a lot. And so that was super dope. And I had already decided to play that clip. I'd already been planning this episode, and he just dropped the album Keep Me Company. And that song, Record Store Day, is like my title gave me my playlist of my top songs of 2024. Keep Me Company, the album, was just released, I want to say like a week and a half ago. It's on my top songs of 2024. I've played it that many times in a week and a half that it is now one of my most listened to songs in 2024. It's crazy. I love that song. So yeah, if you get a chance, it's a lot of dope music on that song. Record Store Day might be my favorite, with so many other dope songs. He's going to be in Austin on the 20th, and I'm going to be at that show. I had bought tickets to that show prior to this as well. I'm just trying to get back to myself. And so everything very serendipitous. I'm very appreciative. Shout out to Skyzoo. I appreciate that, man. That meant a lot. And looking forward to seeing you perform on the 20th. But anyway, all right. Now we got to get into some actual episode stuff. We talked about birthdays and everything. My daughter had a birthday before mine. So you know what we got to do? The Chef Elise Report. I'm Peppy. Yes, sir, I am. And very, very proud to be. Yeah, Chef Elise is 9. She's 9 years old. I'm a year away from the double digits situation. And she recently just had a birthday. It was cool. Before that, she had a couple of other friends have birthday parties, and mom was busy with stuff. So I took her to one weekend, and it was at this little like gymnastics center or something. One is like a rec center, but they had a whole like gymnastics thing. So I go in there, and there's a couple parents there. We're all sitting out in the outside area, and the kids go into the little foam pit gymnastics room, and they just doing their thing, screaming and flipping and jumping. And it's nothing but foam and padded stuff, so you ain't got to be worried about nothing happening to them. So none of us are paying attention. Everybody's on their phone. People not really even having conversations with each other. We just like, hey, It's a Saturday. We here. They get to be in there, and I don't have to think about them for a couple of minutes. I can just sit out here. That's what we finna do. So we all sitting out there, just chilling. Nobody's talking to each other. Very random, sprinkling of individuals, ethnicities and I don't know, whatever, tax brackets, all kinds of stuff. And we all just sitting there. And then at one point, like one of the little teenage joints that worked in there came out and she's like, hey, parents, feel free to join your kids in the gymnastics room. You don't have to take your shoes off or anything. Parents, you can keep your shoes on. That's fine. No restrictions. Feel free to go in there and play with your kids. And she said it and she looked at all of us and we all looked up to see who it was that was speaking and to acknowledge that we heard what she said. And then we looked right back down and off like, ain't a motherfucking person move like they was about to get up. Like, lady, don't know. This is not what we came here for. We didn't come here for opportunity to play with our children. We have the opportunity all the time. We came here for an opportunity to not play with our children, to not have to run around and do some and possibly hurt our back and end up back at the chiropractor again because I'm in here doing flips with a 9-year-old. No, that's what we came here for. So thank you for the information, but I'm gonna play some more Sudoku. Appreciate you. Anyway, then so that was her friend's birthday party. She comes running out later and said she wanted to leave. And I got worried because, my daughter's a little black girl in Texas. And, so most of the schools and stuff that she goes to, she's the only one that looks like her. And so whenever she comes running out of something that's supposed to be a social thing, what immediately goes running through my mind. So she's running out and she's breathing hard. I don't know if it's because she's upset, been crying, or because she's been playing. And she's just like, I'm ready to go, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to stress her. If she's already stressed, I'm not going to stress her out in front of these parents and pressing her about what happened. I'm like, all right, you ready to go? Boom, let's go. Let's get in the car. We get in the car. We can talk about it. Turns out she was just trying to be a good big sister. Her little brother's birthday was the same day, and his birthday party was starting in a couple minutes. She knew what time the birthday party was starting. She looked at her watch, saw it was getting close to that time, told her friend she had to go, got up out of there. Shouts to Chef Elise. I love her.
Out of Peppy.
We're not done yet, though. So then her birthday actually came up, and we was trying to just chill this year. Trying to just chill. Like, we'll go all out on the 10. We'll spend some money on the 10. But for 9, like, everybody's tapped at this point. Like, let's just make this easy. So her mom decided to do a little sleepover at the house. Shouts to mom. And it was like an all-girls sleepover. And I ain't doing that. So shouts to mom. And I went over there, and we had a good time. I have decided my birthday gifts to Elise were all dresses. She's entering into her girly girl princess phase. And I have decided that my strategy in this is that if you want to be girly girl princess, that is all for it. I'm going to participate in it. You want to wear dresses? I'll buy you all the dresses that you want. But I'm going to go buy the dresses that I like. I'm going to lead the narrative to you on what is beautiful and what is pretty. And, I'll help teach that to you before somebody else does. So, you want to be a girly girl? Bet. Dad's with it. Dresses on deck. So she loved the dresses, and that was a good feeling. And then I had to dip because shit got out of control. Out of control. Like, it was just stomach aches left and right. Everybody needed to go home. Parents getting called. Parents showing up. Kids don't want to go home now. Some little girl hit her head on the ceiling fan. I think the ceiling fan thing was the point where I realized I need to go. If people is hitting their heads on ceiling fans, I don't like to be around. Y'all know I have a fear of white babies. I really don't like to be around, like, white injured kids either. Like, I feel like it's not a good look for me. So I got up out of there. But my daughter had a good birthday. I think another dress that I had ordered arrived for her the next day, so I drove up there and gave her that one. And, we're having a good time. So that's the Chef Elise report. Despite everything that's been going on, I still have, tried to continue to be a dad in the best way possible. And I think things are working out. So that's the Chef Elise report.
Out of Peppy.
Yes, sir, I am. Still proud to be. Always will be. All right. So, man, what else do I got? So much. I want to tell this quick story real quick. This is usually how I would put this show together. It's just I live life for a week, and as things happen, I'm like, oh, that was interesting, or that was funny, or that was thought-provoking. I might write it down and then try to bring it to y'all. I had this incident the other day, and I thought I'm gonna talk about it on the show. I'm gonna try to see if I can make a point out of it. But anyway, so we finally got our cold snap here in Texas. It's probably dropping down into the 40s and 50s every once in a while, which is cold for us, and our infrastructure not built for it. So I'm leaving work, and I'm leaving work early. I've decided I'm just gonna skip out on work. I'm gonna go home, and like as I get in the car to go home, I get a text message from my apartment complex saying that there was a pipe burst or something. They shut the water off. It's gonna be off for like 4 or 5 hours. They'll keep us posted. So I'm like, God damn, like I'm trying to leave work. There's water here at work. If I go home, ain't gonna be no water. I'm like, damn. But I don't want to be at work, so I'm going home. So I get in the car, I drive home. I figure, 4 or 5 hours. I normally get home and take a shower first thing. I figure I just want to be home. I'll wait the 4 or 5 hours. When the water comes back on, I'll take a shower. So I get home, I'm chilling, doing whatever, just, regular day, playing some Madden, waiting for the water to come back on. What I didn't think about when I left work to come home to an apartment with no water was that you need water to use the bathroom. Right, so now I'm in here and I'm just chilling, and it's been an hour or so, and I need to make that move. Now, luckily for me, there's still water in the tank, so I was able to flush, and it sounded crazy, and I was like, man, what's going on? And right as I was leaving the bathroom, I guess right at that moment, they turned the water back on. And when they turned the water back on, because that tank was empty in the toilet, the sounds that came from that, it sounded like a demon or something was trying to escape from the plummet. Like it sounded like something wicked this way comes. Like it sounded scary. Like it was growling. It was just, I didn't know what the hell was about to happen. And I'm just like, what is going on? And I sat there and I'm listening to this sound. It's getting louder and louder. And then finally, like, it dissipated, and it's just, I guess the water's just back on. And I was like, God damn it, Jerry, you got to stop doing this. They're going to take your black card, dog. You said you thought something bad was about to happen, and you stayed in the bathroom. Dude, what is wrong with you? You stood there and waited for, like, you wanted to see what it was going to be. You literally, in your mind, thinking, this sounds like something that's trying to escape from the sewer, and you like, I wonder what it is. Let me stand here. Like, they're going to take your black card, Flame. You got to stop doing this shit. But then I had a lot of experiences this week that brought me to a conclusion about a lot of these things. I get that label a lot about being the whitest black guy most people know. The conversation I've been having with the missus about music that led to the whole Sky Zoo thing was just how different I am in the way that I analyze music and I look at things and the way I think about things. So I have always had this cloud of I'm different hanging over my head like my entire life. And it's been a problem. It's probably what has created that hermit that I talked about earlier. Is that if everywhere you go, you feel like you just outcast, you like so different, you just eventually decide I'd rather be by myself. I think that's what kind of happened to me. But as life does, I'm learning recently, and this is the thing I want to kind of share with y'all today, that like we're not different. As different as we think we are, we're the same. And so many things happened to me this week that just like hammer that point home. In that situation, like we think we had that thing about like white people go run to go see the danger or whatever, but we all sometimes like, man, what the fuck is that? What's about to happen? Like we've all, the people who sit in restaurants and tape. I shouldn't even be mentioning this, but I was watching some comedian tell a story about a video he saw on the internet of a lady getting into an argument at like a coffee shop or something, and she started like throwing feces at the cash register. And and the only reason we know this is because somebody taped it, and there's a person, that you can hear taping it. It's like, oh man, it's the best angle I could get. So that's another situation where it's like something crazy is going on, and what we would say is our stereotypical reaction is when somebody started throwing shit, we would just evacuate the premises. You don't want to be in that situation. But nah, we'll sit and watch it too. We want to see it too. We the same, we different, but we the same. We the same, but we different. I'll give you another one. There's a new restaurant open near my job. It's called Nando's. I think it's a UK like chicken thing. So if you're from the UK, you probably know it's a big deal. We've been waiting for this Nando's forever. And it finally opened. So me and a couple of coworkers decided we're gonna go check out this Nando's. I take my friend David, my white friend from work. We go over to David. We're gonna have some peri peri chicken. I think it's like South African chicken or something at Nando's. We get over there, we sit down, we get our order. It's like a restaurant, you know, and we in there, and the food comes. And when I tell you the way my white friend David reacted to this chicken, I hadn't seen a grown man in a public restaurant like do a happy dance while they was eating. I've never seen that before, but I saw a white man do that over some chicken. And he was just, he was going so over the top, and it was me and it was one other dude, and we both melanated. And we're just watching this like, dude, this is not how you get invited to the cookout. I'm not sure what it is you're pulling off right now. Or is the chicken just that good? And I think we got to the realization that for him, that this is not a show he's putting on. He enjoys the food, you know? But again, different, but we the same. People, not everybody likes chicken because they black. Some people like it because it's delicious. It's just, it is what it is. Give you another one. I was in a meeting with my IT team at work, and we're talking about year-end objectives. We're trying to close some things out before the year ends. And there was one particular one that, you know, was attached to me and my team, and I'm talking about it. I'm like, you know what, go ahead, make as much progress as you can. If you hit any snags or anything, let me know, and we'll full court press it so we can get this done by the end of the year. And I noticed when I said like full court press, I got like a little like confused look, and I was like, oh, IT meeting, my bad. That's a sports reference. What I'm saying is we're going to apply, we're going to put as many resources and apply as much effort into completing this project by the end of the year as possible. And, I knew when I said like the sports reference thing, and, it was some hurt feelings because, I'm basically telling them nerds that don't, but they don't. And that's why they didn't get what I said, and I don't know. I'm hoping I don't get the email for sensitivity training or something on Monday. It could possibly happen. If they do, I just put me in the same spot over there by the window so I can look at the clouds and ignore y'all, because I know I'm not listening. But again, we all IT people. We the same, but we different. I'm a sports fan. I know that they're not. And so we don't speak the same language. And sometimes I may say something that they don't understand, but it's not really because we're different. In the end, we're the same. Our interests are different. Because at the same time, they could do the same thing to me. They could easily pull that same, oh, Jerry, you didn't get it because it's a reference. If they were talking about anime or Dungeons and Dragons or some of that other shit, I'd be completely lost. And they could definitely call me out on that. I wouldn't get offended because I don't really have a problem being on the fringe of the nerd community. That's just my life. I'm a man with no country. I'm going to find a little sad sound to put right there. But, it's that's cool with me. I don't have a problem with that. But again, we're the same. They have an interest. They have a thing that they enjoy and they love so much that I know nothing about. And I have a thing that I enjoy and I love that they know nothing about. But we both have a thing that we love and enjoy. We probably put the same amount of effort into pursuing that thing or following it or keeping up with it or whatever it is. But I'll look at them as weird because their passion is Dungeons and Dragons, and they'll look at me as weird because I like to watch the NBA. But, we're both passionate about something. We're the same. I was getting into, I don't think I realized that the way I listen to music or the passion or the fervor I have for music and hip hop specifically, I don't think I realized that it may be different from other people. So when I'm very excited about something, or when I'm talking about something, or when somebody has something negative to say about something I like and it hurts me personally, like that doesn't resonate necessarily for other people because they're not as invested in that thing as I am into this thing. But there is a thing that they are invested in. And if I was to say something disparaging about that thing, they would feel the same way. And if we could just find those connections to say that you're not weird because you like this, because I like this. So we're the same. I do that same obsessive behavior over here. I just don't do it over there. So it's not weird that you do it over there. I think I'm looking at it like, why do you care so much? But you care so much for the same reason that I care so much over here. And if we could just like see it that way, like I think it would help. But it took me 43 years to even understand that I saw things differently. So I understand why that's difficult. I'll give you one last one. And this was offensive. I was in a barbershop. And I'm going to first say this. Just turned 43. I hate the dye. Like I hate the fact that my barber has started spraying that dye on my head because he didn't ask. Like I don't. Let's have the conversation about my hairline receding or something. Like, just tell me, just at least say something to me. Don't just look at me and be like, oh, he know his shit fucked up. Let me go ahead and put some dye in it. But anyway, I let him put the dye in there because it pisses me off. But I do wind up with like the crispiest shape up ever for a couple hours until I wash it out. I don't even understand why they put it in there because the first thing I do when I get my hair cut is wash my hair. I got to get that hair off my face, but whatever. So I'm at the barbershop and he's cutting my hair, and it's like a Hispanic. Everybody in here is Hispanic, Latin, Latino, and so they got the music playing, and it sounds like music that would be playing in like a Mexican restaurant or something. It sounds like mariachi music, and so I don't know the words. I don't know what they're saying because I don't speak Spanish, but it just sounds like happy-go-lucky, chill vibe mariachi music. He finally spins me around, and I can see the TV, and they got chains on, and this girl's shaking their ass, and there's like cars in the background and stuff. I'm like, what is this like gangster mariachi music? Like, what is going on? I was so confused. Like, in my mind, it wasn't possible. Like, mariachi music just got it. It sounds like it's just whatever. We just having fun. How the hell is it gangster? Or I didn't know gangsters did it. Or they was like for some reason, I had just closed my mind off to the possibility that a genre of music could that its content could be broad. And that's one of my biggest things about hip hop is like, I always wanted to try to help people separate the content from the art form. There were so many people who were against rap because they thought that rap was violent. Well, you can rap about anything. I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there with a rap song about Girl Scout cookies. Like I'm sure it is because you can rap about anything. But as much as I know that about hip hop, I'm shocked that you can make a mariachi song wearing a diamond encrusted chain. Like, just closed-minded in that way. But not seeing that it may look different, but we the same. So, that's what I wanted to share with y'all today. I've been going through a lot with the idea of me being different. But when I get the opportunity with someone that cares enough to listen, or someone that cares enough to want to understand or try to reconcile whatever difference we may seem to have, we usually end up in a space where we relate. They understand exactly how I feel about this because they feel about that somewhere else. It's just not in the same place. So it looks different, but it's the same. I feel like there is something written in the hearts, minds, and souls of all human beings that is the same. We got the same base OS. And so a lot of the issues, trials and tribulations, a lot of the thoughts and feelings that we have are the same. They come from the same places. We're not that different. We just need to have the conversations. But that takes work. And I like to have conversations where you can't respond. And that's what this show is. So I appreciate y'all for making it this far. If you made it this far, you are the real MVP. I don't even remember how I used to end the show. I do know I used to end the show with another Skyzoo song, so we're going to do that. But, yeah, man, I don't know. I appreciate y'all for coming back. And I appreciate y'all if this is your first time listening. Hopefully you do come back. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to go through this journey of life together. And I love y'all. I really do. Know that if you know nothing else. Holla.
Last call for alcohol. Yeah. If this is it, like if this is the last joint, if this is the last hurrah, it's the last call for alcohol, baby. I gotta say, whether you knew it or not, it's pretty much at the finest bar establishment, the finest spirits and libations y'all could have had, baby. You might realize it now, you might have realized it back then. You might realize it later.
Love.